In this section, I want to talk to you about the pitch itself, and I'm just going to introduce the topics we're going to cover in this section so you understand what's coming up. The first thing is to set up the pitch correctly, and this involves an important telephone call that you're going to need to make to ensure that you've got everything organized for that meeting the way you want it. And I'll explain to you exactly what that is in that lecture. Then I'm going to talk to you about how to handle the pitch and what to do when you're there, and how to make that meeting run the way you need it to run. Really important. I'm going to point out some pitfalls, things not to do. You can make some chronic mistakes very easily, and with a little bit of guidance from me, hopefully I'm going to keep you away from the worst of these. Getting the economics of the deal done is really, really important. And again, if you don't get yourself properly prepared, you may well find yourself signing up to unprofitable business. And I always say unprofitable business is somebody else's business. That's not what you want to do. So you've got to go through that lecture to make sure that you don't get suckered in to doing a deal that fundamentally you don't want to do because you're not going to make money out of it. There are a number of things you have to do after the pitch meeting, and I'll talk you through those when I talk to you about staying in front of your prospects, because it's really important that you don't let everything just drop after the pitch meeting, but you keep the momentum going while you're negotiating the terms and getting the mandate or the contract or whatever it is signed. And I give you some really solid advice about how you can handle that. Finally, there's the critical topic, which actually I've placed here deliberately because I want you to understand the full process. But this applies to the whole process. And that is all about aggressively qualifying opportunities. You need to be asking all the way through whether or not you're a strong contender for this piece of business. And if you're not, you need to find out why, and if you can't do anything about it, you need to drop the deal. And I give you a whole list of probing, open-ended questions in this final lecture in this section, which will help you to master that particular part of the deal process to ensure that you focus on doing the business that's going to be profitable and the business that you can actually get closed, and that you don't waste your time being drawn into discussions and negotiations with a client who's never going to sign you up. So this is a really important section in this whole course, all about the pitch, how you handle it, what you do after, the mistakes to avoid, and then finally the overlapping one, which is how to avoid getting drawn into long discussions about business you're never going to win.